Our third goal is to bring about full utilization of prison guidelines, the IAC guidelines and MHAP guidelines to name a few, and propose the following steps. Firstly, recognition of prison guidelines at the front line must be promoted. We therefore propose holding lectures for front runners, psychiatrists, agents, and of course volunteers, respectively.
Require human involvement to select the need for attack, the target, and finally to attack. LAWS stands for Lethal Autonomous Weapons System. And there is no clear definition of lethal autonomous weapons system. But according to Red Cross document,
agricultural technology, we will be able to efficiently produce more nutritious food. Therefore, in order to introduce these towards to developing countries, we think that the lesbian countries need not only financial support, but also the various other forms of support, such as revitalizing the movement and academic exchange of technical interns and international students in the future. We also think that each country needs to support research and development conducted domestically rather than simply relying on support from other countries.
I think that Model United Nations is a very hard activity. When we start doing this activity, we feel nervous because we could not act like how we want to be in the conference. Also, when we get used to the conference, we will get nervous because of the inferiority complex between the veterans. Still, after we experience many conferences,
the second is how international organizations should be. What I felt through World Bank, which is the whole forum this time, is that international organization must not make mistakes. I think that international organization must always carry out analysis and research and continue to give correct
information distribution to their citizens. After receiving information from countries in the region and from their own sources, nations should distribute them to their citizens as soon as possible to their e-government system to minimize damages. With the implementation of these two policies, the Regional Response Cooperation and the information distribution system within each region and nation, New Zealand believes that damage from natural disasters can be reduced dramatically. In conclusion, we believe that ICT is now regarded as a
focusing on rather the whole world than New Zealand itself. The fourth policy is a normalization of international trade. As we told, one reason we spread financial crisis was international.
In your presentation, of course, you mentioned how to persuade these developing countries, but can you elaborate on that point? I mean, how would you persuade these developing countries which rely on trade of natural resources to promote this biotrade notion? That's my question.
Okay, thank you very much for your question, Ms. Noguchi. Well, in our opinion, we have presented three opinions as for the biotrade, in order to promote biotrade. And in order to answer that question, I think we have to go into the topic of each point when it comes to persuading the developing nations. As for the first point,
and Asia-Pacific Cultural Centers for UNESCO. Despite the challenges posed by the COVID-19 pandemic, I am gratified to see that the High School Model United Nations Japan team has continued its work and is meeting today to make final presentations via online platforms. I commend you all for engaging in this process.